this is, much like the night 10 years ago, that is branded on our minds and our hearts forever. I want to acknowledge also with us here tonight is my boss, the Adjutant General for the state of New Hampshire, Major General William Riddell, and our Command Chief for the New Hampshire Air National Guard, Chief Collier. So I just want to acknowledge their presence as well. And I want to thank you all for the privilege and honor to speak with you here on this most solemn anniversary of the tragic attacks on our nation of September 11th, 2001. We have an esteemed group of folks who have gathered with us today, and a special thank you to Noel Taylor for leading this call to remembrance since 2006. We have veterans, we have first responders, veteran service organizations, and service cadets dedicating their time here with one another as we pay tribute to all brave women and men who have put service above self.
I've had the good fortune of knowing Noel for a very long time. For those of you that are not aware, Noel is not only the director of this program, he's the reason I'm here. And he happens to be my father-in-law, but that aside, I know he's had the opportunity to tell the story of how the 100 Nights started here. I don't know if you'd like to maybe give a brief overview of that to the folks. Yep, we took care of that. It was on the program earlier and you weren't here, so Nancy stepped in.
Thank you, my favorite son-in-law. Yeah, he just got promoted. But I would just like to say especially first of all to my wife for putting up with me for the last 6 months.
Hey.
Thank you, Nancy. And next, I'd like to recognize my very dear friend, Sergeant Donald Morin. Don, just wave your hands when you see you are. All summer, Don has kept me straight. Every time I would start wavering a little bit, you know, Don was right there to be my support, my guide. He's been just unbelievable how strong he's been supporting me. So basically, I just wanted to take a moment to say how proud I am of the gentlemen standing behind me with their horns. If you heard somebody playing the national anthem, there's a little out of tune.
That's me.
That was me. It was probably because I haven't eaten all day and a little nervous, but I'm proud to be a member of the Muchachos Drum and Bugle Corps for the last 12 years. The Muchachos are really the unit that helped make this night possible. The first time we came here, we did a 21 horn salute. Now, those of you in the military will say there's no such thing as a 21 horn salute. I beg to differ with you because I made the term up myself. The first night, along these 20 columbariums to line the top of the hill here, we had one bugler by every columbarium, and we sounded taps from one end of this cemetery to the other, and it was beautiful. And that was the beginning of 100 Nights. After seeing that event, I said, you know what? We can do more than this, and that's when I thought that I'd like to see it more than just once a year. So in speaking to the director of the cemetery at that time, Roger DeRosiers, I told him I wanted to play taps every night for 365 nights. He said, what are you, smoking something? So after some conversation, he said, why don't you just do it in the summertime? So I said, all right. I says, when do you want us to start? He said, well, Memorial Day is a good day. So I said, all right, we'll start on Memorial Day. And then I was looking for a reasonable date to end the continuous sounding of taps. And looking at the calendar, I said, you know what, there's no more fitting opportunity than on 9/11. And it has so many meanings to so many different people, I thought it would be the perfect day to end our continuing taps. So looking at the calendar, I very quickly realized that from Memorial Day to September 11th, there are 100 nights. So thus I said, you know what? How about an organization called the 100 Nights of Remembrance? And So I said, all I can do is get somebody to go up there and sound taps for the next 100 nights. That shouldn't be too difficult. And as it turned out, thanks to a beautiful ad in the Union Leader by John Clayton that talked about how we're looking for buglers, my phone was ringing off the hook from buglers from all over the state of New Hampshire who called up so many beautiful stories that why they wanted to sound taps. We had one young lady back 6-7 years ago who's still with us tonight. Her mom called and said, my father just passed away, and we wanted my daughter, who had just received a merit badge from the Girl Scouts for sounding taps, we wanted her to sound taps at her grandfather's funeral. And for whatever reason, the funeral director says no, she's a little too young, and we'd rather her not do that. So the mother told me, my daughter is 12. She can play taps. She can sound taps correctly. She's been practicing for a long time. She can do it right. So she asked, can my daughter join the 100 Nights of Remembrance? And I said, yes, we'd be honored to have her. So the first night she came up here, she broke her ankle like the week before. So I said, you know, I better go up and just check on this youngster sounding taps. So I came up, and she had this huge boot around her foot, and she came hobbling in, and she had her own entourage with her. Her mom, her father, a couple of grandfathers, uncles, aunts. She had come on a whole entourage, and she played taps, and I did her echo. And I was very proud of her that day, and I still am today. And I don't want to say her name because I don't want to embarrass her, but she knows who she is. Her parents are sitting right there. They know who they are. They're very proud of her. But that's just one of many stories that just said that I'm doing the right thing by organizing this organization. And every year it has grown. I think this is definitely the biggest year ever. But I just want to say to all the units, to all the buglers, and to everyone that made this night possible, especially my wife, thank you all for being here.